Good morning on the 12th of September. A share of energy of what I feel today, something that came to me on this walk, is around vulnerability. So often we are able, some aren't, some keep it all closed in, our feelings, our experiences of what's going on for us. Some people keep it really close. Some people share it, they get with people and it all comes out in a big muddly mess, and it doesn't really help you to process what's going on, and it certainly doesn't help the relationship that you're sharing that with. When it's a purge, we all need to do that sometimes, of course we do, but when it's a habit, when it's a default action of I feel vulnerable, I've got to get this out. Now I'm wondering how it would be to experience your own vulnerability yourself, how it would feel if you allowed yourself to feel what's there, to hold the hot potato for a while and just to notice what's there, to listen to yourself, to be brave enough to be your own vulnerability, to process your own vulnerability, to hear what's there. And then once you touch that, once it makes a bit more sense to you, then share that with people. Be an example of how that can feel, how liberating, the freedom, the understanding of yourself. We wear so many masks in our lifetime, and at some point, hopefully they fall off, because we're not born to veil ourselves. We're born to be, to feel, to know, to experience this planet. Not to have a pick and mix shop and I like that, I want that, and when that's not going to happen, I'm going to have a reaction. Now, if the reaction's there, that's the vulnerability that's so worth hearing for yourself. That's what creates real freedom in your life, a real relationship with yourself, and a trust and a respect for yourself to be able to feel what's there. Because I tell you what, when it's thrown around, or it's, you might get into arguments with people because you don't want to admit that you feel rejection or whatever it is, when we can own that feeling for ourselves without putting it into blame, something really magical happens between people. You start to live a real life of real communication, but it starts from that communication with yourself. You cannot have real, clear communication with other people if you don't have it with yourself, because you don't know where you're at, and you will never know where you're at by asking other people's opinion of where you're at. It's not your understanding, it's not your experience, it's not your interpretation. You know where you're at, and there's such a gift in exploring that and seeing what's there, by walking, by sharing with a friend what's really going on, not the detail or the story, the real sense of vulnerability, and to get help with a coach or a counsellor or a professional if it's too hard, because we are born to know ourselves. Of course we're born to know ourselves. We come in on our own and we leave on our own. There's a big gap in between then. For a lot of people avoid, they don't know what that time alone with themselves is even about. So that's, for me, the absolute joy of living, the absolute abundance of everything we get to experience on this beautiful planet. So a little share on this Friday the 13th, which is very lucky for some. The sun is out, it's a beautiful day, and sending much love. Take care, bye.